Hey everyone, I want to show you some new updates with the Lotus Elixir library. So I've introduced caching to Lotus. It's optional but recommended. Right now it only supports ETS-based caching with different profiles. So for example, these schema introspection gets cached longer, so it has a longer profile. Because of course this doesn't change that often, and this is heavily used. Like every time you open a new page, we gotta create, like we need to fetch all the tables and all the schema. For in this case, I only have one data source, but if you have multiple databases, then we would need multiple schemas as well. So we cache that. We cache the results. Right now, by default, a little bit shorter. Results are cached for 60 seconds, but that's configurable. The other cool thing that I want to show is variables. So let's start with selecting title, status, substituting users, last users. So you'll see now that we've got some better auto completion as well. Maybe this user. Get the table names suggesting as auto completions. So here, title. Oh yeah, we got a mistake here. Format I need, of course, the join clause. So join users users.id equals job applications.applicant.id. Okay, so we've got a bunch of job applications, title, the status, and the user. So the user last name. So now let's try to use a variable. So I could want to filter by status, right? So in Lotus, if I do a double curly bracket and then write the name, so status, you'll see that we get an input here. And on the right, we've got some variable settings definition. So by default, we've got variables that can be text, number, or date. We've got a label, so I could change this. Let's say what's state, and you can see that immediately we change the input label as well. Let's put this back to status. I could immediately use it as a text. So if I do, for example, offer and run it, then the filter applies. But let's say that I want to as a drop down list. So immediately now you see that we don't have any options, but the input changed to select. We will have SQL query based options option selection, but for now we only have text based. So one option per line, and let's say we add interviewing. We have offer, we have rejected. So now I can pick from these filters, and we've got a rejected application, interviewing. So we've got two applications, right? I can combine multiple variables. So, and users last name equals another variable. So let's say name, right? So again, here, I want to use a text-based input. I can filter. I could also use like syntax with wildcards. So, well, so in this case, no. So you've noticed that with the assign with the equals, we like Lotus automatically quotes for you. In this case, because I want to use a wildcard, I'm going to open quotes. I'm going to say name and wildcard, and then I can do Mel. Sorry, I got a mistake here. Yeah, so you can see that it works, right? And if I save this, so basically all of my, let's try to save user job apps. So if I save, and then I go back to my index, use the job app. So in this case, we see that it didn't auto run because I don't have default values for my variables, right? If I wanted this to auto run, I can go to variables and then I can assign default values. So for example, here I could say interviewing, say Mel. You can see that the inputs get values. So if I save it like this, then I go back and I do, so user job apps, you can see that it auto runs, right? Because it has all of the values that it needs. It also supports, so here we got this 7 days. So I could also use variables with interval. So days, and in this case would be, so if it's a text, this should be obviously a number. So we got an error. So I can switch this to a number input, run it again, and I get results. We could use the date input. So let's call this date, and change this to date. And we're going to get the date picker, where we could put some date and run it. And that's it. Hope you like these updates.